It is now my pleasure to introduce Marwan Suleiman. Marwan is a senior from Iraq, and he is a testament to how scholarships can change lives and the interdisciplinary nature of the GW experience. Marwan is learning computer programming and online web development, and he's a senior majoring in international affairs and minoring in jazz studies. At GW, he's become active in his fraternity and the GW Student Musicians Coalition. And at the same time, he is working for the Middle East Broadcasting Network. He is someone who works hard, and I am confident will make the world a better place. And he is someone who would not be at GW without your commitment.
Thank you. Thank you, Senior Vice Provost Holtzman. When I was 14, I was living in Baghdad. My father's phone rang. He picked up the phone, and a stranger said, "We know who you are. We know where you work, and we know where you live." 2 years later, I'm in the United States. That one phone call changed our lives. It was 2 years after the Iraq War in 2003. We had already been living in danger. But when you get a specific threat, it's a completely different story. Suddenly, your family breaks apart, and money is more difficult to come by. And I'm not the person to be felt badly for here. My dad is. He was born in 1960, and in 1980, the Iraq-Iran War began, and it lasted for 8 years. So for almost all of his 20s, he was living through war. I, on the other hand, turned 19 in Thurston Hall. I don't need to describe it more than. It's a fun, nationally rated dorm right on our campus. So therefore, I think of myself as a very lucky person. And to be in this room tonight is case in point. Like me, each one of you has a very unique story of how they got to be in this room as well. And so it took a long time and a lot of support from family, friends, and even strangers to get me where I am today. In 2006, my first name by itself put my family in danger because of the religious war. And along with that specific threat, I had to move to Kurdistan at the age of 15 and live alone while my parents worked in Baghdad. But one day, my mom called, and she said, "Do you want to live and study in the United States?" So the next year, I'm on a plane going to Connecticut to live with a family that I had never met, and I lived with them for 3 years. To add to the culture shock, they had 11 pets living in the house. The joke back home was I was number 12. You know, 2 dogs, 1 cat, 2 ferrets, 2 frogs, 4 parrots, and the Iraqi downstairs. But quickly enough, they became my family away from home. They supported me all through high school and even college. So in 2010, I was admitted to GW. I was so happy. I called my parents back home, woke them up in the middle of the night, gave them the news. They were ecstatic. And I said, "Wait, don't congratulate me yet. I haven't figured out financial aid." My dad goes, No, we can help. How much is the tuition? You can imagine how that conversation went. It's very quick. But people had more faith in me than I had in myself. On June 22nd of that same year, I woke up with an email in my inbox saying I received the Dirk Brady Scholarship and it will cover all 4 years at GW. Thank you. That moment changed my life. The scholarship has allowed me to forget about my past, the terrible part of it. And it just let me be another student, which is exactly what I dreamt of. It just allowed me to focus on my classes and my GW experience. I was able to participate in student organizations, music events on and off campus, and even find an internship that quickly turned into a job. And I also joined a fraternity. So, Phi Kappa Psi. I wasn't sure whether you're going to throw something or woo. So I was even more fortunate to have met the 2 people that made this opportunity possible for me. In my freshman year, I was able to visit Mr. Dirk Brady himself, the man whom my scholarship was named after. At the time, I was 19. He was 93. We had a lot in common. We both come from countries that had war, and we had to escape it. He escaped the Nazis in Germany. I escaped, I'm not sure who, in Iraq, but they were bad. I really don't know what to call them. But that's not what we talked about. We actually ended up chatting for a couple hours about GW and our favorite moments here. And not long after our meeting, Mr. Brady passed away. And what he shared with me made me appreciate what I have here even more. And almost 4 years later, I was able to meet one of his nephews, Mr. Robert Ziff, who along with his brothers established this scholarship. He told me that their uncle's story had inspired them so much that they wanted to continue his legacy by helping students like me find an education away from destruction. So I never thought people could go that far in helping others. Every time I imagine my life without the scholarship and without GW, I really come up short. For that, and for all the donors who are here tonight, I'm truly grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.